Hey guys, welcome to Galaxy Sparkles, where I turn imagination into reality. Thank you for tuning in and giving me a few minutes of your time. Leave a comment below and let me know how my craftsmanship has came along. Also like and share this video. And if you'd like to watch my progression as a one-stop shop, subscribe and let us take the journey together. Galaxy Sparkles. Hey guys, it is Monday, December 16th, 2024. And I have these two pre-cut pieces of wire that I'm going to use for the entire ring today. I have a pretty cool little idea that I've seen someone else make, and I'm going to see if I can reproduce what they have created. So let me get on this mill and begin getting it down to the sizes I need. And let's turn some imagination into reality and see if we can't improve on some of that quality craftsmanship today. Get some of them great craftsmanship XP points. Here we go, guys. Y'all hang tight. Here in the very near future, guys, I am going to mount this mill to the table. But I want to do so as soon as I get a vise so I can just do them both at the same time. Ain't no sense in getting kind of scattered out. I'd rather just do it everything at once while I got all my tools out and my material. So that is the future. Get everything nice and mounted. My desk or my workbench here organized where I have certain tools on one end and my workbench on the other end. And we are going to begin crafting out here in the garage so that we can get a little more exciting times out here. I can get a little more loud out here, a little more excitement happening. Because inside I have to kind of behave myself, guys. I'll get in trouble if I get too rowdy. So I have to definitely behave myself. Alrighty guys, here is what we have came up with. We've got our flat wire that we're going to use for the outside edge of the ring. And we got our other wire that we're going to make links out of, solder them together. And I don't know if we're going to do it a brick style or actually round links. If we do it brick style, if it works out real well, it's going to be a 3-layered ring with the 2 outside edges. And if it's round style, we're just going to do offsets with 2 rows and the outside edge as well. I'm going to have to make another piece of this right here. This may not be enough to make a whole ring. So we'll see what we end up with. So you guys hang tight. I'm going to get this annealed, quenched, pickled, and rinsed. Quenched, pickled, rinsed, and we're going to begin the process. So I got my butane torch all refilled so it don't go empty on us there in the middle of a solder joint. So that's a everyday ritual, is fill up that butane torch so we don't run out in the middle of a solder joint. So all right guys, let me get this annealed and I'll be right back. Y'all hang tight. All right guys, I got my piece of wire here quenched, pickled, and rinsed off. I'm going to cut me a little section off and we're going to begin the process. We're going to start with round links, get them soldered up, and we may try to turn a couple of them into brick-like. May take my little pliers right here and spread them out as far as it can go and try to make some sort of oval brick type thing and see how that works out. And if it goes well, we're going to do a 3-layer brick style ring with the outer rim. If it don't, we'll just keep them circular and offset them, each one, stack them like bricks, how bricks are stacked, and put the outside edge around that, which will be a 2-layer ring. 2-layer of rounds with a top, or we're going to go brick style, 3 layers with top and a bottom around the edges. So y'all hang tight. Let's start getting these into a round shape and see what we don't come up with, guys. Y'all hang tight. All right, guys, this stuff has been some tedious work right here, trying to get these all put together with 2 pairs of pliers. But like always, I try to find easier ways, and instead of using 2 pliers, I just use my free hand here and help manipulate the metal, and it seems to be going a fairly quickly. So not that I'm in a rush or anything, but it was very tedious there for a minute until I kind of got a routine here going, a rhythm. Oh, get a rhythm. Yeah. So we got us a rhythm going here now, guys, and we're going to be soldering this up very shortly. And guys, this is just practice for my next project that I'm wanting to build, possibly this week, maybe next week. One of them Cuban link chains or a Cuban link bracelet. That is in my near future. So this is just kind of practice where I'm getting XP points for that particular project. So in the very near future, I do plan on making a Cuban link chain or bracelet, which however it turns out. And this is just practice, gaining them XP points. That's all we're doing here today, guys. And we're going to build a fine piece of jewelry, a very unique fine piece of jewelry, while gaining XP points for that Cuban link chain. I would like to practice another box clamp before I do that Cuban link chain, because I want it to be very nice and secure, and I've already got a little bit of experience, some of them experience points on that last box clasp I made last week. So there is a little bit of experience there. But I'd like to practice one more box clamp before I attempt making a Cuban chain. So today, that's what we're practicing here, guys. We're getting them XP points for that Cuban link chain. So, guys, let me get some solder set on this, and we'll heat this up and solder it up together. Here we go. Y'all hang tight. All right, guys, we've got all of our solder set here, and what I ended up doing, instead of trying to lay this square solder, this flat solder on top of these round links, I'm just opted out to actually put the solder onto the block and set my links on top of the solder right at the joint, because I was just having a heck of a time trying to keep that flat solder on the joint itself, and just found a little easier solution here. So here's what we're going to do. We're ready to solder. Let's see how this thing takes. I got one piece of solder here left, and I'm probably going to use that piece for the outside edge of the ring here in just a little while. So let me get my meat protector on. We'll solder this stuff up and see how it goes. Here we go, guys. Y'all hang tight. Alright, guys, it looks like all of them have took. Looks like there may be a couple there with a little bit of a gap on top. Maybe that was just a bad connection where I didn't get it fully seated and flush with each other. So what I'm going to do is attempt to take my stick of solder now and just see if I can't maybe fill the top of that gap a little bit. See if that don't help. There's probably just a few of them here. Let's see what happens here. All right, guys, here's a moment of truth to see if my solder joints were good. We're going to attempt to spread this as open and as wide as possible to form some sort of brick. See if I can get a little bit bigger of a plier so we have a little bit extra leverage there, guys. Whoa, now, come back over here. Need a little bit more leverage. Hate to smash it and make it not uniform. Oh, like that right there. Garbage. We have approximately 69 millimeters there. The ring is so wide, it's going to be hard. But we're going to do it anyway because that's what we set out to do. It's just going to be a super extreme wide ring. I don't know. I don't want to jack it up any worse than it already is. So we may not... We can't put an outside edge on this particular ring today. It's just not going to work out. But I know in the future what I need to do is make my lengths a lot smaller. So we got to find something a lot smaller than that 3/8 pencil. It's approximately 3/8 of an inch. Again, I'm still transitioning from inches to millimeters, so I just know just by feeling this thing that it's approximately 3/8 of an inch. And as far as millimeters, I couldn't tell you what it is without measuring. So I'm still transitioning into millimeters, so y'all bear with me just a little bit, but we will get it in time. And instead of cutting this flat solder, what I plan on doing here is, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue the tedious work. I'm gonna cut some more flat solder, get it laid across there, and we'll get it soldered up. Guys, y'all hang tight. I'll be back here directly, and we'll solder this joint up and see what we can't come up with. Y'all hang tight. All right, guys, I got my little flute Japanese music playing, just some nice, calm, meditative type music going, no words, just flute music, some piano, just real nice, gentle music. And what I was just attempting to do there by laying that solder in there, it reminded me of a game I used to play when I was a kid. Remember that game Operation, where you got them little tweezers and you're trying to get in there and not touch the side of the metal, or that thing, the nose would be come up and blink and buzz and do everything it did. Remember that game? Well, doing that right there, that little tedious work, using these little pliers right here, trying to get inside of them rings and get that little piece of solder and kind of moving them solders around and get them set in place, reminded me of that childhood game, which is pretty cool. So I'm really enjoying the process here of learning this jewelry work, guys. I'm really enjoying it. So let's solder this up, see what we come up with. We'll get us an overall measurement. We'll get it, put it around the mandrel, and shape it up. All right, guys, here we go. Let's solder this bad boy up together. We'll solder the whole joint up together. I got some nice Japanese. I know I just said it, but it's in my ears while you can't hear it. I like to play some no copyright stuff a lot of times, but this is copyrighted, and I won't be able to let y'all listen to what I'm listening to without getting some sort of penalty or whatever. And I don't want no penalties on my channel. So one of these days I'll look for some no copyright stuff of what I'm listening to, and it's real peaceful music where you can just sit here and just really meditate and focus on your work. Here we go. We're beginning to solder up. It's beginning to melt. Real peaceful stuff, guys. I'm really enjoying this process. Ooh, I don't know if that last one took right there. I better find some stick solder and stick that on. Y'all hang tight. I'm screwing things up, boys. That's why I didn't want to use that stuff right at first, but I thought I was soldered up. So y'all hang tight. Let me get this reset, reorganized, and we'll finish soldering this bad boy up. All right, guys. I have played some more Operation, and I think I've got everything nice and set in there. The force of the torch just moved one of my solder pieces, so let's see if I can manipulate that and get it right back set in place without moving the whole thing. There we go. All right, let's get this thing soldered up and see what we end up with here, guys. Here we go. All right, guys, we're out here in the garage. We're going to jump on this sander and just smooth the edges out a little bit. And there's a lot of imperfections in this thing, and I'm just not completely satisfied. Everything was just moving around, coming unsoldered because it was super hot, and I've just really fouled it up real well. But anyway, we're going to continue on and finish this project, and I'll be right back with you. We're going to sand it up and get everything a little uniform and flat together as possible. So here we go. All right, guys, y'all hang tight. I'll see you at the bench, and we're gonna pull the mandrel out and see if this thing will not come apart while we're trying to form it into a round ring. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be about a size 9 ring will be my guess. So let's go see what we can't make happen without it breaking on us. Let's go. Y'all hang tight. All right, guys, I got that wrapped around the mandrel and nothing really came apart. There are a couple of loose joints. We're gonna get it all soldered up right here. So here we go. Let's solder this thing up together, guys. Oh, complete, utter failure. Dang. Let me get it quenched and see if it's... Oh, it's just mangled. Guys, it's mangled. I don't know if it's salvageable. Oh, it's mangled up well. Ha! Well, just mangled up real nice, guys. Complete, utter failure today. Let's see if we can salvage it. I'm not completely surrendering yet. It's just... Dang. All right, guys. We have salvaged it out a little bit. The ring has lost a few links. It's going to be a little shorter. We are going to attempt to try again as soon as I find a piece of solder. And I've come up with an idea, possibly, to not unsolder the thing next time I get it wrapped into a ring form. Maybe come up with... I have a little different of an idea of soldering so I don't heat up the entire ring and lose... and possibly not lose the solder joint. There it is. There's my solder joint. So let's see if I can get this thing heated up and resoldered. We'll reform it around the mandrel and attempt one other time. It'll definitely be a smaller ring, but let's see what happens here. Here we go. Quench it, pickle it, and rinse it. And let's see what we got, guys. I'm actually going to shape it before I pickle it. So let's see if we can't shape it without it breaking here. Let's see what we come up with here. Need to pickle it first, guys. That is not taking. All right, guys, we got that all nice and pickled up. I'm gonna try to just heat this very tip top up. Try not to get the entire ring hot. And I'm just gonna take my time and keep the heat nice and smooth right there on top. Pull it away. And as soon as it's ready to take, I hope it'll only take and be willing to take just right here on the very tip top. So let's see what happens here. I was a little aggressive the first time with the heat and it just fell apart. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's so damn hot. All right, guys, let's pickle it. Quench it, pickle it, and rinse it, and let's see what we end up with. And take it out to the garage, clean it up, and at least we finished the project. Let me get it quenched, cleaned up real nice, and I'll be right back with you. You guys hang tight. Guys, we're gonna do final cleanup on this thing. Today is a complete, utter fail. Let me get it cleaned up, get back to the bench. See if I can't maybe get a passing grade out of this thing, but I really don't think it's going to happen today, guys. I think this is going to be a complete, utter fail. So y'all hang tight. And I'll see y'all at the bench. All right, guys, my final thoughts on the bench is the ring is complete. I went through the hurdles, the obstacles, the failures, and I did complete the ring, even after the thing completely fell apart because I overheated it and the solder joints came undone. And I very easily could have stopped at that point and punted. But like in all things in my life, I just continue on. I grind through until there's just no other options available. We lost a few links. The ring is a lot smaller. It does fit on my pinky real well. I don't know what quite size that is at this time. But it went from about a size 9.5 to whatever size that is. I'm going to guess probably a 6, just guessing. So we did lose some links out of the deal. But we went through the hurdles of life. We didn't go around the hurdles and punt and quit and just start all over. We went through the hurdles. We finished what we were doing, and we completed the ring. It does look like who done it. And I do grade this ring an F because it is just nothing that I absolutely envisioned. So next time I do make this ring, I know that I need to make the links a lot smaller. The links need to be a lot smaller, so I need to, like I said, I used a 3/8 pencil today, right at a 3/8 of an inch. So I know I need to definitely be a lot smaller next time. And I need to figure out a way to cut the links a lot better with my jeweler saw other than my side cutters so that the joints are a lot cleaner. I just have a lot of craftsmanship that I need to practice on. But I didn't realize this ring was going to be as difficult as it was. So saying that, I definitely gained a lot of XP points today that is going to be very useful in the very near future. So I gained a lot of XP points today for trying such a tough ring, which I didn't think it was going to be that tough. And I really envisioned something totally different today. So, but guys, we did finish the project. I do grade it an F, but I give it an A for effort because we did go through the hurdles of life and we continued on, and we did cross the finish line. Although it was a failure, we did cross the finish line and completed the project. So I am very pleased with that. And I do that in everything in life that has ever came to me, unless there is just a complete, where you just no chance at all, where you have to punt and reboot and regain and do some reflecting. I always try to complete the tasks ahead of me by going through the hurdles instead of around the hurdles, if that makes any sense. I don't go around obstacles. If there's a problem I face, I go through it. I learn. I keep my emotions in check the best I can, because a lot of circumstances in life that we just are unable to control the circumstances in life. But what we can control are our emotions and our will to fight and continue on. And that's what I do in all aspects of life, guys. And we did complete the project. I'm very thankful for that. But I do grade this an F. So with all that being said, we'll see y'all tomorrow. And like always, I'm going to leave y'all with a huge energy ball, full of energy, full of love, full of joy, and full of connectedness. I'm building it. I'm building it big for you guys. Here we go. Let's build a big one. All right, guys, catch that if you can. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow.